Live News at 11:30 starts now.
Right now, local FBI joining a multi-state search for a mother with ties to Metro Atlanta who hasn't been seen in a week. The latest on that investigation and a look at why her husband is now a person of interest. Plus, developing in Atlanta, a street racing crackdown. Atlanta police ramping up their efforts after the rainbow crosswalks were damaged 2 weekends in a row. The plan they have in place to make roads safer. Thanks for joining us. I'm Savannah Levins filling in this afternoon. The FBI in Atlanta is joining the search for a 31-year-old's mother of two. The feds say they're offering assistance in the investigation, with Johns Creek police taking the lead on it. Police also add they believe the last person to see her was her husband. He has been arrested, but not charged, at least not yet, in her disappearance. Hope Ford explains.
The story of Where is Sierra Brayland currently stretches through 2 states and several counties. On February 26th, Carmel police in Indiana released a missing persons report, believing Sierra went missing the night before. Carmel police contacted Johns Creek police since Sierra and her husband Xavier recently visited family in the area. Lieutenant Deb Kalish with Johns Creek PD says Xavier was the last person to see her.
He said the last time he saw her was in Carmel.
Xavier was arrested by police in Indiana for unrelated charges stemming from Coweta County. A spokesperson with Coweta County Sheriff's Office provided details on the warrants, which included 2 misdemeanor charges for harassing phone calls and family violence order violation, and a felony warrant for failure to appear for aggravated stalking. The spokesperson confirmed Sierra was not the victim in those crimes. So while Xavier was arrested on those warrants, he's not charged with Sierra's disappearance.
I mean, we're still really early in the investigation.
Sierra, a mother of 2, shares a 5-month-old baby with her husband. The baby is now with Child Protective Services.
It's a mom with a young child. And as a mom, I can't imagine leaving behind my baby. So yes, we're taking it very seriously, as is the police department up in Indiana. And, you know, we're concerned. We're looking for it.
In Johns Creek, I'm Hope Ford, 11Alive News.
A heartbreaking story. Xavier is now waiting to be extradited back to Georgia. If you have any information on what happened, there are a few different numbers that you can call. They're all posted to this story on 11alive.com. Just into the newsroom, new developments in the arson investigation into an Atlanta Wendy's that was burned down after police shot and killed a man there. Liza Lucas was at the Fulton County Courthouse. Liza, there was a hearing scheduled this morning for 3 people for their alleged roles in the fire. You were there. What happened?
Yeah, Savannah, all 3 were facing criminal charges of arson, and they were set to appear before a judge today to enter their plea. As you mentioned, I have just left the courtroom, and I can tell you that all 3 waived their appearance. So what that essentially waived their arraignments, rather. Judge during the hearing. A grand jury indicted Kingston as well as Natalie White and John Wayne in January for their suspected roles in burning down the Wendy's on University Avenue back in 2020. Now, the fire was started during a night of protests after Atlanta police shot and killed Rayshard Brooks in the fast food restaurant's parking lot after getting into a struggle while trying to arrest him for DUI. The indictment says Kingston, White, and Wade worked together to commit arson. Now, we have reached out to DA Fonnie Willis's office for comment following the hearing. We'll keep you posted on any statement on that front as these 3 individuals continue to fight the charges. Sending it back to you.
All right, Liza, thanks so much. 3 people have died in a wreck in DeKalb County that completely mangled their car. This is what it looked like along Wesley Chapel Road and Snapfinger Road last night. Witnesses say they watched a car speed through the intersection, lose control, and cross into the other lane. It crashed into a van and caught fire. A father and son saw the whole thing happen. They say they tried to help pull people out of the van.
There was nothing else we could do. I think at the moment when it happened, we just knew we had to help. You know, that's why we just, like I said, I just pulled over there as best as I could, and he ran out, then I ran out.
Wow, and they're heroes because 2 people were rescued from the van thanks to their help. The 3 people who did die in that accident were all in the car that caught fire. The witnesses we spoke to say they also tried to help, but the fire was just burning too hot, too fast. Atlanta police have identified several of the drivers who damaged the rainbow crosswalks in Midtown. Most, they say, have turned out to not be Atlanta residents. Police now working to get them back into the city to face charges. Police are focusing their fight against street racers on the groups of people who have done these donuts in that intersection at 10th and Piedmont.
We have zero tolerance for this type of behavior in our city, and our Midtown residents deserve more than to be woken up in the middle of the night with engines revving and tires screeching as individuals are participating in illegal activity.
That there was Deputy Chief Carvin Tyus, who says the department is working with neighboring jurisdictions as well as state and federal partners to address that issue. He says there is no place for this in Atlanta. And Atlanta police say there's still no reason to believe those actions were any sort of statement against the LGBTQ community. And right here you're seeing Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens saying he is thankful to GDOT for cleaning up the rainbow crosswalk so quickly. And he says he's working to make the city's streets safer from all angles. Yesterday he got a closer look at where Atlanta's street signs and traffic signals are made and spoke about the city's roadway safety plan, which aims to keep people from dying or being hurt in traffic accidents. He says he wants to make the department more connected so they can fix some issues right from headquarters.
I want them to have fiber optic network and be connected back to a central nervous system where we can adjust these things and improve them or fix them without having to go out and drive to the actual location. So I think a smart city approach is on the way.
He also said the city needs more equipment to take care of striping on the roads, changing street lights and traffic signals. All right, let's talk weather. If there aren't enough reasons to look forward to the weekend, TGIF, it is going to be beautiful across Georgia, just adding to that. But Chesley, I'm told we should enjoy it while we can.
Oh, yeah, it always changes on you, right?
Yeah.
It does always change. And, you know, the pollen starts to go up as well as we start to see those warm temperatures. You can see over, this is Cobb County here, and I mean, there's nothing in the sky except for the sunshine. Beautiful day out there. There will be some high, thin clouds increasing in our area as we head toward the afternoon. Or later afternoon. Temperatures are in the upper 60s for the most part. You got Atlanta, Marietta, up toward Canton at 68. Some 70s just south of the city of Atlanta. Right now, Peachtree City at 70. 71 degrees in LaGrange and 72 degrees over toward Thomaston at the current hour. Here is your forecast for the rest of the afternoon. Nice. Very nice. 73 degrees, afternoon high. That's right in the sweet spot right there. Not too hot, not too cold. We'll take it. We'll drop back down to 65 degrees with mostly clear skies by 7. I think it's after that that we'll start to see more of the clouds begin to filter in. You know, when the temperatures get up high, we start to see that pollen. And it's that time of year that the trees start budding a little bit there. And so we have a high number again for today at 281. Once we get up to 90, that's when we get into the high category. We're expecting those numbers to get into the extremely high category. That's the way it is around here. We get into the 1,000 counts, you know. We've been as high as 9,000 at times. Still on low on the grass and the weeds and also the weed, but that's high enough to make you start to feel a little itchy. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow as well. Going to start you off with a few clouds, but I think by the afternoon that begins to clear out. 76 will be the afternoon high temperature. That's warm. But even warmer as we head into Sunday. You're looking at mostly sunny skies. 81 degrees will be the afternoon high temperature. Now, if we reach that, that will tie a record. We tied one yesterday. I think we'll get there again on Sunday, and you have to enjoy it because rain will be coming our way as we head into next week. We're going to detail that for you in the full forecast coming up. Savannah, back to you.
Thanks, Chesley. This is the time of year I love living in Georgia, except talk to me again when it's 100 degrees in the summer. In Coweta County, a large brush fire is thankfully now under control. This fire broke out in the same part of Noonan that was damaged in a tornado last year. It spanned 10 acres at one point. Just look at all of that smoke. Firefighters had to use a helicopter and 2 planes to get it under control. County officials say it is under control, although you might see some residual smoke and flames if you are over in that area. And a Henry County police officer is in a legal battle fighting for workers' comp.
Go, come on,
Wow, that is just so crazy to watch. It is body cam video right here from 2019 showing Detective Taylor Webb jumping from a garage during a 15-hour standoff. He was trying to save a pregnant woman and her son. He ended up being shot twice. At the time, the department called the officers heroes, even awarding them the Purple Heart. Detective Webb says he was only getting 60% of his pay while he was on disability leave, and now the pain has stopped him from working altogether, and the workers' comp isn't coming anymore at all. He says he feels abandoned.
And everybody says, like, we're going to take care of you, we got your back, make good decisions, we're going to be there for you, and they're either lying or they're just not being genuine.
Webb's attorney says the department hasn't paid him in 2 months. They filed a lawsuit over the workers' comp in August. And Ukraine's president is pleading for international help and asking NATO to declare a no-fly zone over his country as attacks by Russian troops have become more frequent and deadly. Jay Gray has more on the humanitarian crisis that's growing along the Poland-Ukraine border.
Hey there, we're at the Korchua border crossing. This is more of a place where refugees can come and kind of establish what they're going to do next. Many of them just making it across the border, and this is their first stop. Some have been walking for 2 or 3 days, and when they get here, they get the opportunity for a hot meal, something that they want desperately, and so many have told me how important this has been to them. They can pick up supplies, jackets, blankets, clothes. There's a medical unit inside here. And the doctors are Ukrainian, but it was Polish soldiers that rushed in, rescued those doctors and brought them here. So they went from being doctors to refugees back to doctors again. There are 5,000 cots inside of this center. The director tells me if he had 10,000, double the amount, it still wouldn't be enough at this point. And unfortunately, we believe that we're going to see the number of refugees, just like the fighting, increase over the next several days. It's overwhelming to see the mass of people here who have left their homes and really now are looking for somewhere, anywhere, that they can kind of take a breath and figure out what comes next. This is one of those spots. That's the latest right now from the Poland-Ukraine border. I'm Jay Gray. Now back to you.
And it's been more than a week since Russian forces invaded Ukraine, and the destruction is just heartbreaking. Some of you have asked whether NATO could have prevented this. Our Why Guy has the answer after the break.
11Alive Morning News.
We began with breaking news this morning.
Is where you know what's happening now.
11Alive is live on the scene.
Where you can confidently plan ahead.
This severe weather is intensifying.
By knowing what's coming overhead. And we're Atlanta's traffic expert.
We've seen delays almost 30 minutes worth of
helps you get there on time. Every time. 11Alive Morning News is where you start the day prepared. Watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
News happens fast. Stream it faster. 11Alive News is now on Roku. Stream live newscast.
We begin tonight with breaking news.
And watch on demand.
We are tracking severe storms.
11Alive News. Stream now on Roku.
11Alive News Verify. It's where you see viral claims put under the microscope.
This Facebook post is all over the internet, but is it true?
Where the fight against bad information begins with your good question.
Laura from Marietta asks, can this program...
And where the experts read between the lies.
The fine print shows this isn't real.
11Alive News Verify, where you know what's fact and what's fiction. Watch weekdays at 5, 6, and 11 p.m.
Weather can't run from the 11Alive Thunder Truck. A mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
He is a character in his own self. He's just my miracle child. And I treated him like he was a miracle and that he was loved every single day. I can remember that day like it was yesterday.
How could this happen?
A lot of parents are burying their children. People always say black people don't do that. Yes, here's a picture.
A Different Cry, now streaming on Roku and Fire TV.
11Alive News at 11 p.m. is where you find out what's happening now across Metro Atlanta.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of Cobb County, where a neighborhood is now...
Where you stay a step ahead of severe weather.
Our storm risk has now been upgraded to a...
And the only place where you can verify fact versus fiction.
11Alive can verify that claim is false.
11Alive News at 11 p.m. where you end the day ready to take on tomorrow. 11Alive Morning News.
We began with breaking news this morning.
Welcome back to 11Alive, where Atlanta speaks. Have something you want verified? Email us at verify@11alive.com.
Welcome back. As Russia intensifies its attack on Ukraine, an 11Alive viewer wants to know more about NATO's role in the conflict. She reached out to our Why Guy to ask if the troops from the North Atlantic Treaty Organization could have prevented this invasion. Here's Jerry Carnes.
The images come from thousands of miles away, but they are so heartbreaking that Americans wonder if the military might of NATO could have done more to stop the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization involves 30 countries that have vowed to protect one another.
Basically says that an attack against any one country is an attack against all countries that are within NATO.
While Ukraine is not a part of NATO, concern over the Russian invasion goes well beyond that country's borders. An 11Alive viewer writes, asking why NATO couldn't use an emergency declaration to stop the Russian attack. Here's why that didn't happen. Dr. Jeffrey Barajikian of the University of Georgia School of Public and International Affairs says the NATO treaty is very specific.
One of the countries within NATO has to be attacked in some way, and then they come to the collective defense of that country. Ukraine is a kind of security partner, it's a political ally, but it's not in NATO.
While Russia's actions could be taken as a threat by the members of NATO, Dr. Barajikian says sending NATO troops into a country that's not a part of NATO could be confusing to the rest of the world.
It kind of makes sense to restrict in a very clear way where NATO countries will fight and where they will not. And so what you always want to have is a clear, bright red line.
NATO countries can send equipment to Ukraine and help any refugees fleeing that country.
Good afternoon, everyone. What are your plans for today? I know you're looking out the window thinking, oh man, as soon as I get off work, I'm doing that, right? Maybe get the bike, right? The last couple of days have been very, very nice. And so getting the bike ready, you had it in the garage all winter long, maybe down in the basement or what have you. Got to put some air in those tires, kick them around a little bit and get on out. Look at this, 73 degrees afternoon high temperature. It will be a very nice afternoon with an easterly wind now, about 9 miles per hour. So a nice little breeze for you. Right now, temperatures are running in the upper 60s in a lot of spots. You got 68 degrees from Canton down through Marietta, Atlanta, 70 in Peachtree City, over toward Carrollton, 71 degrees in the Grange. The warm spot on our map is Thomaston. You're at 72 degrees. Cool spot would be up here in Greensville and Athens at 63 degrees currently, but you'll be going up into those 70s as well. I think we'll all hit the 70s today. An 11Alive day on tap for us. Comfortable, you know, what I call the sweet spot between 71 and 73 degrees right there. Perfect body temperature right there. Get out there and enjoy it. A lot of humidity around. In fact, it's so dry that we have fire danger out there, so be careful with those fires. And also, plenty of sunshine around. Now, we will see some of those high, thin clouds begin to push in as we head into the latter afternoon, and then clouds will increase through the overnight. But for much of the day today, we'll have plenty of sunshine around. It's going to be a very, very nice afternoon for us. High pressure has been dominant over us, although today we've been watching a front as it has been sinking a little bit further down to the south, now just south of us, and it's allowing this easterly wind to come in. Now, there's not any clouds associated with this, no rain associated with this at all, just a wind shift for us, and so it's allowing some cooler air to come in. Now, slightly cooler, I'll say. Yesterday we got up to 80 for a high temperature and we tied a record. I don't think we'll get that high today thanks to this wind shift that we have. Now, this front is going to stall and eventually make its way back to the north as a warm front. Tomorrow we'll get warmer air in because that front will continue to lift to the north. In fact, even warmer as we head into Sunday. No rain to speak of for your weekend. That's good news, right? We got the Atlanta Fair returning to the area, and so that's going to be around all weekend. Opens up today, so it's dry today, dry tomorrow, dry on Sunday when we have the Hunger Walk Run. We'll be out there as well, so you can come out and greet us. If you haven't registered yet, make sure you go to their website, register. It's a good cause, good time, right? The rain comes in as we head into next week. We got a 30% chance, and it's a low chance, but we have a 30% chance on Monday going into Tuesday as another front will make its way through the area. And once that front moves through, it will cool us down, or bring our temperatures back to where they should be for this time of year. Here's how it all plays out. Forecast track model. I'm going to leave this nice and wide here for you so you can see what's coming or headed our way. Right now, sunshine. Plenty of it. We'll hold on to it for the rest of the afternoon. As we head into the evening, some high thin clouds will move in first, and then we'll get some thicker clouds, of course, as we head into the overnight going into Saturday. Saturday morning when you wake up, if you're getting up very early, 5:15, we'll have mostly cloudy skies in a lot of spots. Now notice how the model is trying to bring out some showers here. Don't think we have to worry about that at all. And even as we head into the afternoon, this is by 1:15, a lot of those clouds will start to break up. So we'll have a few clouds left over. We'll call it partly to mostly sunny skies. And notice how the clouds and the moisture is building back off to the west of us. It's going to continue to do that on Sunday. We're back into this southerly flow ahead of the front, and so temperatures will really start to warm up on your Sunday. We'll have partly to mostly sunny skies, especially during the afternoon. Temperatures into the 80s for highs, and then that front gets a little bit closer to our area, so our clouds will increase overnight Sunday going into Monday. I don't think the rain really gets in here until late afternoon on Monday going into Tuesday. That's when we'll have that 30% chance late Monday going into Tuesday. Now behind that front, temperatures will cool down. We'll be up to 78 degrees for the high on Monday, back down to 63, right where we should be on Tuesday. We'll have mostly cloudy skies around, should begin to clear out late, but then another disturbance comes through on Wednesday, bringing more rain and clouds. 62 degrees will be the high temperature, and we stay unsettled as we head into Thursday of next week as well, with that 40% chance for rain and 65 degrees for high. So we say goodbye to the 80s for now, but you know, eventually they'll come back. Savannah, back over to you.
All right, gorgeous weekend. I love it. Coming up, a nonprofit is preparing women and people of color for more opportunities in the Atlanta tech scene with a new program. And the best part, it's free. We'll tell you all about it next.
Down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
He is a character in his own self. I mean, he's just my miracle child. And I treated him like he was a miracle and that he was loved every single day. I can remember that day like it was yesterday.
How could this happen?
A lot of parents are burying their children. People always say black people don't do that. Yes, here's a picture.
A Different Cry, now streaming on Roku and Fire TV.
11Alive News at 11 p.m. is where you find out what's happening now across Metro Atlanta.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of Cobb County, where a neighborhood is now...
Where you stay a step ahead of severe weather.
Our storm risk has now been upgraded to a...
And the only place where you can verify fact versus fiction.
11Alive can verify that claim is false.
11Alive News at 11 p.m. Where you end the day ready to take on tomorrow. 11Alive Morning News.
We began with breaking news this morning.
Is where you know what's happening now.
11Alive is live on the scene.
Where you can confidently plan ahead.
This severe weather is intensifying.
By knowing what's coming overhead. And where Atlanta's traffic expert...
We've seen delays almost 30 minutes worth of
helps you get there on time. Every time. 11Alive Morning News is where you start the day prepared. Watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
News happens fast. Stream it faster. 11Alive News is now on Roku. Stream live newscasts.
We begin tonight with breaking news.
And watch on demand.
We are tracking severe storms.
11Alive News. Stream now on Roku.
11Alive News Verify. It's where you see viral claims put under the microscope.
This Facebook post is all over the internet, but is it true?
Where the fight against bad information begins with your good question.
Laura from Marietta asks, can this program...
And where the experts read between the lies.
The fine print shows this isn't real.
11Alive News Verify, where you know what's fact and what's fiction. Watch weekdays at 5, 6, and 11 p.m.
Weather can't run from the 11Alive Thunder Truck. A mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
He is a character in his own self. I mean, he's just my miracle child. And I treated him like he was a miracle and that he was loved every single day. I can remember that day like it was yesterday.
How could this happen?
A lot of parents are burying their children. People always say black people don't do that. Yeah.
Shares how one nonprofit is expanding to the city with a plan to help people pivot their careers and change the face of the industry.
I did not grow up with computers. I'm not a gamer. I don't play any games.
A mom of two, Hob and Photo wanted to change careers, but with no tech background, coding seemed like a stretch.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is for me. I can't do this.
But now she works at Microsoft after training at Ada Developers Academy, a coding program for women and gender-diverse adults with a focus on communities of color.
We're bringing not just women into tech, but a really diverse body of women and gender-expansive folks into tech.
The program launched in Seattle in 2013 to prepare students to become software developers while advocating for a more inclusive workplace. Now, Ada is expanding to Atlanta, where there's been a 15% growth in tech jobs over the past 5 years, a city where Ada CEO Lauren Sato says there's opportunity for change.
We were really looking for that intersection of a diverse community and high tech job growth, because we knew that that was our best opportunity to have a real impact in shifting how the industry grows in the city.
A change for the industry, also a life change for students. The program completely free.
It being free was a big bonus for me.
According to the nonprofit, nearly all Ada graduates land jobs after the program, with an average starting salary of more than $100,000. Sato calls the result a win-win for the community and the industry.
Economically, it's incredibly important for folks to have access to these really high-paying jobs. But on the flip side of it, we also know that tech companies perform better when they have diverse tech teams.
That's awesome. And applications for Ada's in-person instruction in Atlanta open on March 7th. You can learn more and how to apply on 11alive.com. We are seeing some shocking images coming out of the war on Ukraine, but are they all real? Just ahead, we verify one image that's making the rounds on social media.
And you on-the-ground conditions, the 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
He is a character in his own self. He's just my miracle child. And I treated him like he was a miracle and that he was loved every single day. I can remember that day like it was yesterday.
How could this happen?